सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। We are seeing the dialogue between the Tattvadrishti and the Guru. Guru's name is not given, Shishya's name is given. So much dialogue has taken place, and the last question Tattvadrishti asked is, he said, "O teacher, you had told that Aparoksha Jnanam, direct knowledge of Brahman alone removes the samsara, avidya, not indirect knowledge. So direct knowledge of Brahman is necessary for removing ignorance, and ignorance born samsara. Indirect knowledge will not remove samsara. Thus, one requires direct knowledge of Brahman for moksha. But Tattvadrishti thinks that direct knowledge of Brahman is not possible, because direct knowledge is attained with the help of the contact with the sense organs. And Brahman, being free from Shabdadi, it cannot be contacted by the sense organs. And therefore, the direct knowledge of Brahman is not possible. And this idea he is elaborately presenting by saying that Brahman is not the object of Chakshu, means you cannot see Brahman. Then later on he will say you cannot touch Brahman. Then he say we cannot smell Brahman, etc. I will say. So he wants to rule out all possibilities. So under this ruling out all the possibilities, the first possibility is the Brahma is Chakshushaha Vishayaha. Brahman is the object of the eyes. That possibility is being ruled out. And under that, this is like a sub-topic. Under that there is so much discussion. What is the discussion? That Brahman is not the object of the eyes. That's what Tattvadrishti is saying. To establish, he wants to establish that Brahman is not the objects of the organs. Therefore, direct knowledge of Brahman is not possible. And under that, Brahman is not the object of the eyes. Under that topic, lot of discussion is there. Somebody may raise the objection, why do you say Brahma Darshanam is not possible? Many devotees have seen Ishvara, and Ishvaras are described as Brahman alone. Therefore, seeing Rama, Krishna and other avatars is equal to seeing Brahman. So how do you say that Brahman is not the object of the eyes? For that, the Tattvadrishti himself has answered that seeing the body of the avatara is not equal to seeing Brahman. Because the body of body of Ishvara avatara is also having avayavas, and that savayava body cannot be equated to Niravaya Brahma. But then how do you manage that? How do you account for the description where Rama, Krishna all are told that you are Brahman? For that we said it is from Adhisthana Drishti. The you, Rama Shariram Brahma means Rama Sharira Adhishthanam is Brahma. Then he may say, then there is no difference between the Avatara Shariram and the Shariram of the ordinary person. Because the Adhishthanam of ordinary Shariram also is Brahman. And now we are saying the Adhishthanam of the Avatara Sharira is Brahman, therefore alone it is Brahman. So Adhisthana Dwara Brahmatvam is common to ordinary body and Avatara Sharira. And if it is common, then why the Avatara Sharira should be glorified? For that answer is given that even though Shariram of the Avatara, Ramakrishna, and Sharira of the ordinary person, ordinary Jiva, both of them are Mithya, cannot be equated as it is to Brahman without Badha, but still there is some difference. And he is talking about threefold differences. First difference is that the Jiva Sharira is born of Punya Papa, whereas the Ishvara Sharira, Avatara Sharira, is not born of Punya Papa. That is the first. And in that also some refinement was done. Avatara Sharira is not born of Punya Papa, and the ordinary Jiva Sharira is born of Punya Papa. In that statement further refinement was done, because there was objection. He said, how can you say that the Avatara Sharira is not born of Punya Papa? He gave a logic. He said, seeing this Avatara Sharira, Rama's body, Krishna's body, good people will be happy and wrong people will be unhappy because they are afflicted. Rama will give them punishment, so they will be unhappy. So, body of Rama is responsible for the pleasure and pain of two kinds of people. And any pleasure and any pain is because of Punya Papa alone. So the body of Rama, Krishna and other avatars is responsible for the Sukha Dukkha. And whatever body is responsible for Sukha Dukkha is the result of the Punya Papa of that entity. So Devadatta Sharira is responsible for Devadatta's pleasure and pain. Therefore, Devadatta Sharira is made up of the Devadatta's Punya Papa. So if Rama's body is also responsible for the pleasure and pain, it should be made up of, it should be born of this Punya Papa. For that answer was given. Said yes, it can be said the Avatara Shariram is also made up of, is caused because of the Punya Papa, but not the Punya Papa of Ramakrishna. So Rama's Shariram, responsible for the pleasure and pain for good and wrong people, that Rama's Shariram is not born of Rama's Punya Papa. Rama had done something, because of that he got this result. That is not so. Or some pain happened to some people, it is not because of Rama's Punya Papa. So pleasure and pain of other people due to Rama's body are because of the Punya Papa of those people who got pleasure and pain. So some good people got pleasure, happiness by seeing Rama's body. So Rama's body is manifested because of the punya of those good people. Seeing Rama's body, some people became unhappy. So the Rama's body is because of the papa of those people. In fact, that can be extended. Your body is sometimes also responsible for somebody's pain. Happens, somebody is seeing you happy. I told you, when I used to go for a walk in Bangalore, then somebody said, Swami, you are going for a walk, seeing you, he did not talk to me for so many days. Seeing me, he is happy. That's all. So it is because of what? Because of his punya. I did not do sankalpa, let me go for a walk, let all people get darshanam, let them be happy. I did not do anything. I was going for a walk. They got happiness that because of that punya. So in case of other jivas, it is only in some situation that their body is responsible for exhausting somebody's punya papa. Seeing me, somebody may be disturbed also. Why? Because somebody had taken away the son of some sannyasi has taken away the son of this person. Seeing me, he becomes very angry, disturbed. I have not taken away his son. Somebody other sannyasi has taken, but seeing me, Sajatiyatvat, Swami is also similar. So they become disturbed. So what is happening? Their papa is getting exhausted through this body. So in case of jiva, this is happening only in certain cases. Whereas in case of avatara, it is completely like that. In case of ordinary person, what happens? That whatever pleasure and pain I get, for that my punya papa are responsible. In case of Bhagavan, the avatara, his body is undergoing pain and pleasure not because of his punya papa. It is because of this body is made because of the punya papa of others. So avatara shariram is not made of the or not caused because of punya papa, should be understood as avatara shariram is not caused by his punya papa. That was the clarification made. Alright. So first difference between the avatara shariram and the samanya jiva shariram. First difference is that samanya jiva shariram is caused by the punya papa of that jiva, whereas avatara shariram is not caused by punya papa of that avatara. That is karma wise, the responsible factor wise, first difference was talked about. Now second difference is between avatara sharira and samanya jiva sharira. Difference is in terms of material. Earlier it was in terms of responsible factor. Here the difference is in terms of the material used for making this body. So ordinary jiva's body is made up of panchamahabhutas, whereas Ishvara's body is made up of some special material. What is that special factor? What is that? That is being discussed, and that is Maya. So Ishvara's body is directly made from Maya, whereas Jiva's body is made from Panchamahabhutas. But Ishvara's body will look like this other person's body only. Look-wise it will be the same, but material used is different. Alright, like in house sometimes they do it. For all other people they will make a dalda ghee. They will make a puri etc. from dalda. For the main yajamana, what? Pure ghee is made. Look will be the same, but one is original, one is duplicate, like that. So okay. So here Panchabhuta Parinama, ordinary people, and Avatara Sharira is the Mahika. Okay, what is the significance he will explain. Kincha Ramakrishna Shariram, the Panchabhuta Parinamaha. The body of Ramakrishna. Here Ramakrishna, we should not understand Ramakrishna Paramahamsa we are talking about. Rama, Krishna, etc. That is how Ramakrishna should be understood. People say Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. It's not Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Also you take, no, we have no problem if it is considered to be Avatara. So here Ramakrishna refers to Avatara. Moreover, Rama, Krishna, the body, is not the modification of 5 elements, but Chaitanya Shrita Maya Parinama. It is the modification of Maya which is obtaining or resorted to, supported by Chaitanya. This is our Vedanta Siddhanta, that Maya Brahmashraya or Brahmashrita. So that Brahmashrita Maya is the cause for the Avatara Shariram. So body of the Avatara, Rama Krishna is a modification of Maya resting on Brahman, Chaitanya. पंचीकृत भूत परिणामत्वे कृष्ण शरीरस्य रज्जुकृत बंधना विषयत्वं भागवतादिषु वर्णितम असंगतम भवेत्. He said, why we have to accept that it is not made up of all five elements? He said, if it was made of ordinary five elements, then what all speciality we are seeing in the body of Avatara will not be tenable. So for that he gives the example. See, to understand this, you have to know the content of Bhagavata. In Bhagavata it comes, one day Krishna was very, very mischievous. And therefore, Yashoda, his mother, wanted to tie him to some place, Ukula, means that which is used for the support. So they wanted to use it. Ukhala is there. I think he used it in churning. So Yashoda tried. For that she took one rope, maybe from 2-3 feet rope. And Krishna, being small baby, he thought this must be enough. So she tried to tie Krishna around his belly, his waist. It was less, 2 inches less. So she joined another 1 foot she put. Again she tried, again 2 inch or 3 inch or less. How much she tried? Every time she tries, it is proved to be less only. Then story comes that mother got so tired, almost crying perhaps. So Krishna felt very, very compassionate. It's okay, Amma, you want to tie me? Okay. Then he allowed himself to be tied also. And then he did another thing. He tied, and then along with Ukala he went out and all did other Leela. But here that particular incident is mentioned. That how Krishna's body was not tied by the rope. However much she tried, however much length she tried, but still Krishna's body remained untieable. That is said here. He said that is possible only when this body is made up of special material, which can always bulge. Immediately bulging. You cannot bulge like in 1 minute, 2 minutes, you cannot bulge. If it is ordinary material. This is a special material. That's what is said here. Panchikruta bhuta parinamatve Krishna Sharirasya. If the body of Krishna is the product of 5 grossified elements, like any other person's body, then Rajjukruta Bandhana Vishayatvam, not being the object of tying caused by the rope, Bhagavatadishu Varnitam, which is described in Bhagavata and etc., Asangatam Bhave, will become untenable. So the description that Krishna was not subject to tying by Yashoda with so much length of the rope, that not being subject to tying, that type of description we see will not be possible if it was made up of ordinary body. With ordinary body, this is possible. Even have a little longer rope, it will be tied. However fat Krishna was, in South India generally Krishna they show fat. You see, especially Tanjore painting, Krishna will be very healthy, more butter eaten. North India a little bit less. So, but however, South Indian Tanjore painting Krishna also, that also will be tied, but it is not tied. So that how it is not subject to tying, etc. How will it be possible? Only when it is made up of some special material. Not only this, so much description is there. Krishna is holding the whole Govardhana Parvata with his finger. With one table also we are not able to do. And he did with his finger the entire Govardhana Parvata. So that will be possible only when his body is made up of special material. Alright. Yadyapi Panchabhuta Karya. Now Vishwanath has so much leisure. Now this one is, what is the topic going on? The Avatara Shariram is not made up of Panchamahabhutas. Because if it is made up of Panchamahabhutas, many incidents we see in Avatara will not be possible. Like this not being subject to time. Then somebody raises the objection. He said, this is not a great thing. Even yogi also they untie themselves. They are tied and they untie themselves. Or they also are not subject to certain impact of some happenings as it happens to ordinary people. So it happens that what is called Sadashiva Brahmendra. So his hand was cut, he went off. And after some time, again his hand came back. So all these things will be possible for yogis. So why we have to imagine that it is made up of something else? Even yogi's body is made up of Panchamahabhuta. Still it is happening. So based on the extraordinary happening, you cannot postulate that the avatara sharira is made up of something else. See, Arthapatti Bhanga, that's what he wants to say. Yadyapi, but in that possible doubt of Arthapatti Bhanga, he is answering. Yadyapi Panchabhuta Karya Yogi Sharirasya api Bandhana Vishayatvam Drishyate. He says, even though this Panchabhuta Karya Yogi Sharira, the body of the yogi, meditator, which is made up of Panchamahabhuta, for such Panchamahabhuta Karya body also, which is yogi's body, Bandhana Vishayatvam, not being subject to tying, Drishyate is seen. We see in the life of yogis that however much people tried, but nothing happened. So Drishyate, Tathapi. The answer is given. Tathapi, but even then, yogi shariram prathana bandhana vishayatam apadya eva paschad yoga mahimna bandhat vimuktam bhavati. He says, even yogi's body earlier, bandhana vishayatam apadya, having attained the status of being subject to bondage, paschad, afterwards, yoga mahimna, by the glory of yogas, bandhat vimuktam bhavati. It becomes free from bondage. So this statement can refer to two situations. One is that even yogi will be tied, but because of his power, he will be untied. Or before yoga sadhana, he was subject to tying, and after yoga sadhana, he is becoming free from such possibility. Whereas Krishnadi shariram tu na yogi shariravat yoga mahimna bandha vishayatam yati kintu swabhavata eva bandhadya vasham. In case of yogi, they did sadhana and then they got capacity because of which they are not tieable. Whereas Krishnadi shariram, the body of Krishna, etc., na yogi shariravat yoga mahimna. Unlike those yogis, the yoga mahimna, by the strength of the glory of yoga, bandha vishayatam yatitina. So just as the yogi will be being free from getting tied because of the power of yoga, in case of Bhagavan's body, it is not like that. So, but the body of Krishnadi is not attaining the status, the Bandha Vishayata. Bandha Vishayata means not subject to tying. The body of Krishnadi attains the status of not being subject to tying. Yoga Mahimna, by some power of yoga like yogis, that is not the case. The Krishnadi Shariram is having the status of not being tied, not being subject to tying, is not like yogis who attain this power because of yoga. Means it is not that Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna did some yoga and then he became free from getting tied. It is not the case. Kintu swabhavata eva bandhadi avasham. But by nature itself, bandhadi avasham is not coming under the spell of any bondage. Tasmat na avatara purusha shariram panchabhuta parinama. Therefore, the body of avatara is not the product of 5 elements. Now, this much is not enough. Now, one objection is raised based on Mandukya, Karika, Tika, not even Bhashya. How much you have to study to understand this? Fortunately, we are doing it, so we remember. Bhagavad Pada Krita Mandukyopanishad Bhashyasya Tikayam आनंदगिरी स्वामिभिः रामादि शरीरस्य भूतपरिणामत्वं यदुक्तं तदपि स्थूलदृष्टीनाम् इतरशरीरतुल्यतया एव अवतारपुरुषशरीरमपि प्रतीयते इति अभिप्रायेण इति मन्तव्यम्. See, those who do not know this particular part, they will not have this problem. Mandukya itself, many people have not studied. Mandukya Bhashya and Mandukya Bhashya Tika also. So those who have studied, for them this problem is there. What is that? He says, somebody may think that Anandagiriji has said in the Tika, Bhagavad Pada Kruta Mandukya Upanishad Bhashyasya Tikaya. In the commentary on the Bhashya on Mandukya Upanishad done by Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, in the Tika, Anandagiri Swami Bihi, by Anandagiri ji, the Swami is called Anandagiri Swami. Ramadi Sharirasya Bhuta Parinamatvam, the body of Rama, etc., is also the product of Panchama Bhutas. Yaduktam, what was told, Tadapi, that also Sula Drashtina, for the people with gross understanding. Itara Sharira Tulyataya Eva, the body of the Avatara Purusha Shariram Api, even the body of Avatara is like the other bodies. Pratiyate, it is experienced. The body of Avatara is also experienced like the body of others. In the understanding of gross people, in the view of the people with gross understanding, iti abhiprayanam iti mantavyam. With this idea, it is said like this. Acha, where it is said? This Vaitatya Prakarana, 23rd Karika, Bhuta iti Bhutavidaha, Prana iti Pranavidaha. There, so many views are given about that Ishvara. In that, one is Murta iti Murtavidaha. Some people say that Vigraha, this Avatara Sharira, that alone is the ultimate. And that is dismissed by Anand Giriji by saying that that also is made up of Panchama Bhutas. Therefore, how can it be ultimate? So, there the statement is here referred to. And here Nishal Das is reconciling between his presentation here and Anand Giri's presentation there. How reconciling? That there Anand Giriji has told from the very superficial angle. So the body of the avatar also is like any other bodies. That the main purpose is to show that avatara shariram is not paramarthika. Because what all the views about paramarthika tattva they are given. And so purpose is to show that body of avatara is not ultimate reality. And therefore to make it simple, it is said that avatara sharira also is a bhuta karyam like any other. Therefore being bhuta karya, it cannot be paramarthika. So there sula drashti from the for the people who are having the gross understanding, for them the body of this ordinary person and body of avatara will look alike. And based on that, whatever he wanted to convey, that is conveyed. Tatparyam is not in saying that the body of avatara is exactly the same as the body of other jiva. That is not Tatparyam. Tatparyam is only aparamarthikatva padarshana. And therefore, there is no difference between what is said there, what is said here. Ataha eva. Ataha eva means what? Since the body of avatara is not Panchabhuta Parinama, but Maya Parinama, therefore alone, Bhagavat Padehi Gita Bhashyopakrame. See how much he is going from this Upanishad, he is going to this Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam. Upakrame. In Upakrama, this Upodgata Bhashya, Gita Bhashyopakrame, in the beginning of the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Pada means Shankaracharya ji. See, this is our tradition. We don't generally say Shankara. We generally say Bhagavad Pada Bhashyakara. That is our tradition. Okay, so Bhagavad Padehi Gita Bhashyopakrame, in the beginning of Gita Bhashya, he has said this. Sacha Bhagavan Swam Maya Vashikritya Ajaha Avyaya Pesan Swamaya Dehavaniva Jata Hiva Cha Lokanugraham graham kurvaniva cha lakshate iti. So there Bhagavan Bhashyakara is showing the place of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, how the dharma was there and it was eroded, and seeing the erosion of dharma, Bhagavan is taking avatara. That idea is given here. That is not that why he took avatara, that is not the point here. Here point is that mayam vashikritya, and as though he is born, as though he is doing the favor to the world, that part is referred, that what is called, from that angle this quotation is to be seen. Such a Bhagavan, and that Lord, swam mayam vashikritya, having brought under the control of his maya, having kept, not brought, having kept this maya under control, his own maya under control, ajaha abhyaya api, even though he is unborn and indeclinable, swamayaya, that is the main thing, swamayaya dehavan iva, he is swamaya dehavan iva lakshyate, lakshyate means seen, the Lord is seen to be dehavan iva, as though endowed with the body due to maya. That is the main point here. And swamaya jataha iva, he is as though born because of maya. Lokanugraham kurvan iva, as though he is doing the favor to the world due to maya. So he appears to be like this, he has really not undergone any change. Iti jagatah sthitim paripipalaishu sa adikarta vishnu devakyam vasudevat amshena krishna kila sambhabuva. Iti cha krishna shariram maya karyatvena varnita. Just making complete the sentence that Ishvara jagata sthitim paripipalaishu, being desirous of protecting the continuity of the world, sustenance of the world, sa adikarta Vishnu. So that the primordial, the agent or creator Vishnu, Devakyam, to Devaki, Vasudeva, through Vasudeva, Amshena, as a manifest, as a part, in one part, Krishna Kila Sambhabuva, Krishna appeared in one part, is a partial manifestation of the total Lord. But Bhaktas, they don't say Amshena, they say Amshena Saha, means along with his Amsha, other Amsha, Arjuna, etc., he Babuva. Alright. Iticha, in this manner, Krishna Shariram, the body of Krishna. Here Krishna is not a black body. Krishna is a Shariram. Karmadhara it is not. Shashti. The body of Krishna, Maya Karitvena Varnitam, was presented as the product of Maya. Where we have to see Swamayaya Dehavan Iva. Tasmat na bhutebhyaha avatara purusha shariram utpadyate. Therefore, the body of the avatara is not born of the bhutas, the Panchamahabhutas. Because of the explanation given here, it is not born of that. Kintu tadupadana karanam sakshat maya eva. But the karanam, the material cause of that body, that refers to Sharira, is Maya eva. Maya eva sakshat, directly Maya. What is the significance of directly? Because other bodies also can be considered to be Maya Karyam only. But all the bodies are the product of Maya through Panchamahabhutas. Whereas this Avatara Shariram is directly from Panchamahabhuta, directly from Maya. Like as I said, what called sublimation. The sublimation means that it is from gas, no, from the solid to gas. So solid to gas generally is from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. But sometimes gas directly comes from solid. So it is a sublimed body directly coming from Maya. That much only difference. It is not that it is not a Mayika. Other bodies also are Maya Karyam, but through intermediary state of Panchamahabhutas, which is directly. Okay. So far two differences have been shown. Between what? Avatara Shariram and the Samanya Jiva Shariram. Now, third difference. What are the two differences? One is that Avatara Sharira is not born of its karma, ordinary body is born of its karma. The body of ordinary jiva is born of his karma. Second is, ordinary body is born of Panchama Bhutas, avatara body is born directly from Maya. Now third difference. Itaresham jivanam dehe ahamiti atma bhranti asti. Ramakrishna dinam tu nasa bhranti asti. Itaresham jivanam dehe. In the body of the other jivas, ahamiti atma bhranti asti. There is the notion of I, means I notion, ahankara. Bhranti. Bhranti means delusion. The delusion of considering the body to be Atma is there. So, Itaresham jivanam bhranti asti. The Itaresham jivanam dehe bhranti asti. In the body of other jivas, there is a bhranti that I am the body. So, what is the difference being highlighted? Other bodies are subject to this identification by the jiva, whereas Ramakrishna Dinam, Rama, Krishna and all, Sa Bhranti, that type of notion that I am this body, that is not there. So, Samanya Jiva Sharira, the body of ordinary Jiva, is subject to, is having the Atma Bhranti identification, whereas the body of Ramakrishna is not having the identification by Ishvara. And identification in the sense is identification which is causing samsara, and that is not there. The jiva has got the complex based on the body. Jiva has got kartrutva, bhoktrutva based on the identification with the body. That is not there in Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara will say, even though I am doing, I am not doing. Now, how this difference is caused? That is explained. That the ordinary jivas have got identification with the body, means the body of ordinary jiva is fraught with identification, subject to identification, or rather object to identify, become the object of identification, whereas the avatar sharira is not object of identification. Why is it so? Why this difference? That he explains. He explains so many technical points he brings in. Jivasya upadhi bhuta avidya malina sattva yukta. Fundamentally goes that upadhi of jiva is avidya, which is malina sattva yukta. It is endowed with the sattvam which is impure. Whereas Ramakrishna dinam upadhi bhuta maya tu shuddha sattva yukta. Whereas the upadhi of Ramakrishna di, which is maya, is endowed with pure sattva. Tasmat, therefore, jivasya avidya karya bhuta bhrantihi Ramakrishna dehe maya karya bhuta Ramakrishna dehe tasmat jivasya avidya karya bhuta bhrantihi Ramakrishna dehe maya karya bhuta sarvagdatvam cha asti. He says, what happens because of this difference? What is the difference? The upadhi of jiva is avidya, and that avidya is malina sattva. So, upadhi of jiva is malina sattva rupa avidya. And the upadhi of Ishvara is maya, which is the shuddha sattva rupa, or shuddha sattva pradhana. Generally, we use the word pradhana. Because of this difference in upadhi, what is the corollary? What is the consequence? Consequence is this. Tasmat. Tasmat means because the jiva's upadhi is avidya, which is malina sattva yukta, and Ishvara's upadhi is shuddha sattva yukta. Therefore, jivasya avidya karya bhuta bhrantihi asti. Therefore, for jiva, there is a bhranti, delusion, which is the product of avidya. Jiva has bhranti, delusion that I am this body, which is the product of avidya. So Jiva has got avidya, therefore the product of avidya in the form of bhranti, delusion, I am the body is there. Whereas Ishvara's Upadhi doesn't create that Bhranti. In fact, Ishvara's Upadhi is creating one positive attribute. What? Ramakrishna Dehe Maya Karya Bhuta Sarvagdatvam Asti. Ramakrishna Dehe means for Ramakrishna Di. Jivasya means for Jiva. For Jiva, there is Avidya Karya Bhuta Bhranti. Whereas Ramakrishna Dehe, for Ramakrishna, etc., Ramakrishna and others, Sarvagdatvam Asti. This omniscience, which is the product of Maya, is there. So, Upadhi of Jiva creates the Bhranti for Jiva. So, Jivasya means for Jiva. For Jiva, there is a Bhranti, which is the product of Avidya. For Ishvara, there is Sarvagdatvam, omniscience, which is the product of Maya. So, because of the Upadhi, Jiva has got Bhranti, and because of Upadhi, Ishvara has got Sarvagdatvam. That is the difference. Alright, then what happens to Jiva Ajnanam? Jivasya Ajnana Prayukta Charana Bhrant Prayukta Varana Bhrantyoho Nivruttaye Acharya Mukhad Mahavakyopadesha Janyam Janyagdanam Apekshitam. Nivruttaye, for removing the Avarana, veiling, Bhranti, means the delusion, Prayukta caused by Ajnanam, ignorance, for Jiva. For Jiva, for the removal of, for the purpose of removal of the Avarana and Bhranti caused by Ajnanam, Acharya Mukhat Mahavakyopadesha Janya Jnanam Apekshitam. For removing the Avarana and Vikshepa, or the Avarana and Bhranti caused by Avidya, to remove that, the knowledge is expected. Jnanam Apekshitam. What type of Jnanam? Upadesha Janya, born of Upadesha. Upadesha from what? Mahavakya. Upadesha of Upadesha of Mahavakya, Tattvavasyadi Mahavakya. How? Acharya Mukhat. From the mouths of teacher, this Upadesha will come, Upadesha of Mahavakya will come, and that Mahavakya will give rise to the knowledge Aham Brahmasmi. And that knowledge is Apekshitam, necessary for removing the Avarana, veiling of the Swarupa and Bhranti about one's true nature. To remove Avarana and Bhranti caused by Avidya, this knowledge born of the Upadesha of Shastra through teacher is Apekshita. Means Jiva to be free from Ajnanam and Ajnana Karyam, he requires knowledge born of Upadesha. Upadesha Janya Jnanam is required for removing Ajnana. What about Ramakrishna Di? Ramakrishna Dehe Avarana Bhrantyoho Abhavena Upadesha Janya Jnanam na Apekshitam. Whereas for Ramakrishna Di, the Jnanam born of Upadesha is not required. Why? Avarana Bhrantyoho Abhavena. Because of the absence of the Avarana and Bhranti that can be caused by Avidya. Both of them are not there. Therefore, the Ishvara does not require the Jnanam born of Upadesha. Tathapi, even then, Jivasya Antakrana Vritti Rupa Jnanam eva Ishvarasya Maya Vritti Rupa Jnanam Upadesham Vina eva Jayate. Now further question will come. Okay, Ishvara does not require Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam because he does not have Avarana, does not have Vikshepa. Does he have Brahma Atma Jnanam or not? Or Ishvara doesn't know? Because Ishvara doesn't require, therefore he doesn't know this I am Brahman. The Vratakara said, no, he has got Jnanam. He has got Jnanam but not required. Jiva ulta, required but not there. Ishvara opposite. He doesn't require but he has there. So he says that like Jiva can have Atma Jnanam, which is Antakrana Vritti Rupa, Ishvara also has got Atma Jnanam, which is Maya Vritti Rupa. That is the idea. So you see, in giving explanation, so many technical details he is giving. He said, Tathapi, even then means what? Even though Ishvara doesn't require the Atma Jnanam, even then, Jivasya antakarana vritti rupak dhanam iva. Like the knowledge in the form of the thought of the mind for Jiva, Ishwarasya, for Ishvara also, Maya vritti rupa atmak dhanam. The self-knowledge which is in the form of the vritti, the mode of Maya, Upadesham vina eva, without Upadesha alone, Jayate, gets manifested in the beginning of Pralaya, a beginning of Srishti. When Srishti, everything comes out. The knowledge of everything gets manifested. So this Atmakdanam also gets manifested. But nobody teaches Upadesham vina eva, the Atmakdanam is there. Kintu, but न तेन दानेन किंचिदपि प्रयोजनम ईश्वराणाम सिद्ध्यति. But by that danam, by that self knowledge, किंचिदपि प्रयोजनम, any purpose न सिद्ध्यति, is not accomplished for Ishvara. ईश्वराणाम विषय ईश्वर किंतु मानार्थे बहुवचन विषय ईश्वराणाम प्रयोजनम न सिद्ध्यति. But other one is Ishvaranam means Hiranyagarbhadinam. Hiranyagarbha also has got similar situation. Okay. Now he said, how can it be that Jnanam is there and not used? He said, आपको बताता हूँ example. तथा ही. So very elaborate and explanation is जीवस्य घटादि ज्ञानेन आवरण भंगः घटादि रूप विषयस्य प्रकाशस्य इति फलम सिद्ध्यति. Okay, those details we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru